Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another recap of the week and the trades that I personally ended up taking this throughout the week. And I'm just gonna break two trades that I am personally ended up taking on the account, and I also ended up taking a trade, practice trade, which I believe was on Wednesday. So I ended up going 3 for 3 this week, which I mean it's amazing. What can I say? And just break through the things that I could have improved and do better. And again, always pushing to keep moving forward and being content with enough and doing the right things when it comes to trading. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. Uh, on my X account, one of the things that I said is that I was anticipating Monday or Tuesday to draw into this weekly busy. And one other reason of why is that it's because the market goes down for two different reasons. We're either gonna go to sick liquidity or we're gonna rebalance into an inefficiency. So in this instance, I wasn't anticipating price to draw into this weekly buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, and anticipating that to happen either Monday or Tuesday. And then after that, depending upon how we were gonna react inside of this busy, I was gonna act accordingly and pretty much behave throughout the next couple of days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So that was my anticipation. On Monday, I was practicing. Most of the time, I tried to just let Monday print to give me just a little bit more information of what the rest of the week is going to be. So I ended up taking the first trade on Tuesday. Again, having the anticipation that I'm looking for the market to retrace instead of this weekly buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. We go into the 4 hour time frame, and we see that we're having a lot of back and forth in this time frame right here. When rule of thumb, when the daily ain't looking too clear, jump into the 4 hour time frame. When the 4 hour time frame is not looking too clear, we're gonna jump into the hourly time frame. So when we go into the hourly, now we have just a little bit more structure. Again, the narrative, we are anticipating the market to drop into the weekly buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. And what's the reason for that? It's because that's what the market and the algorithm is seeking. And when we look down here, before market opens, we have relatively equal lows. And as we say every single time, that's going to function as a magnet for price action. And price doesn't leave relatively equal lows like that. It's pretty much allergic to it. It's going to draw into it to seek social liquidity in this instance. Or if there's relatively equal highs, it's going to seek buy sell liquidity. So in the hourly time frame, we have just a little bit more bearish structure where we see that we have this SIBI, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. Sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. And we have relatively equal lows. So the narrative, right? Understand the narrative. Number one, I'm looking for lower prices. Why is that? Because on the higher time frame, we have a weekly buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency that hasn't got retraced into it, and the market is gonna go into it to rebalance price action and either decide to completely fully closed or have institutional order flow and continue higher prices, which was the most likely as an error because we are trading at all-time highs. So we see price in here, we're anticipating lower prices. And one of the things that I keep saying, if we are expecting lower prices, we want to see the 930 equity open go higher first, right? Because that's pretty much what the algorithm is built to do. Then when we go into the lower time frame, we have our hourly SIBI, which is going to be our point of interest. We have relatively equal lows, which is the narrative. And also we have a higher time frame objective that we are looking to market or trade into. And 50 minutes, same thing, right? We have this SIBI right here. Then we can go immediately into the lower time frame, and we have a lot more to work with. So what do we have right here? We have buy sell liquidity, generated buy sell liquidity. We have a high right here, a high right here, and a high right here. This is just priming. This is just giving the idea to retail traders that this is strong resistance, that the market is struggling to push higher. But that's exactly what it's built to do, to give retail-minded traders the idea that the market is not going to go above those highs. And this is a strong resistance, but it's a fugazi. It's a fucking lie. Okay? So we have relatively equal lows. Then right here is the 914, of course, waiting for 9:30 open. And all of this stuff, it's recorded live. I was live streaming the whole week, and you can go back to the live stream and see it for yourself. Then, of course, 9:30 hasn't opened yet. We see 9:30 open and immediately shooting up towards those relatively equal highs, right? Shooting immediately. Like 9:30 didn't even retrace a little bit, just went straight into that buy sell liquidity. And now at this point, what are we waiting for? Okay, liquidity is taken. We are anticipating price to go lower inside of this weekly buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. And we are in an area where we anticipating the market to reject. Now, at this point, I'm not going short in any way, shape, or form. Why? Because we are waiting for confirmation. I'm not going to go into a trade, and let me make sure that I'm recording because, okay, so we're good. We're good. I'm not going to jump into a trade just because I'm looking for the price to go lower. I'm not anticipating the setup. I'm waiting for the setup to form, and then I'm going to go short if the market presents the opportunity. So we're in this area, and at this point, I'm just waiting, right? I'm looking to go short if the market gives me an opportunity again, and the market is keep going higher. And now we see that we are deviating from this SIBI. Now, when we go back into the higher time frame, where are we retrading into one more time? Inside of this hourly SIBI. Now, most people will see this SIBI and it's like, but it's already retraced into it. We already went back and forth into it. And the market price and the algorithm will refer back to the same range over and over again. This is an important range, and now it becomes a balanced price range because we had an upside delivery and downside delivery. And once we left it, this area right here becomes balanced. And now returning back into it, we want to see price respect this specific level. And let me do this for a second. That's consequent encroachment. Going back to the lower time frame, we see the sensitivity around consequent encroachment of the hourly SIBI. And at this point, again, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for price to tell me what it wants to do. Then this is what we all needed. Buy sell liquidity is taken. We are in an area where we are anticipating price to reject. I'm looking for lower prices. And we have this right here. So when we're bullish, what do we want to see from price action? We want to see busy functioning as support on price. Again, if we're bullish, we want to see price do this right here. Is it this one? Nope. A raw material. Hold on. I do believe that I have it up here. There we go. So if we are bullish, we want to see price drop into it and continue higher. But what are we having here? We see price rejecting this hourly SIBI, and then boom. This is the change in the state of delivery. Because if we are anticipating higher prices, we want to see this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency functioning as support on price. And what do we have? Absolutely and utterly the opposite of it. So this becomes the change in the state of delivery. We have the inversion for value gap, and now we want to see sell side of the curve taking place. Now, at first, I was anticipating a retracement inside of this gap right here, but the moment we took this low, I went short inside of this down close candle, which is a breaker. Why it is a breaker? We have a high, a low, higher high, lower low. So this down close candle right here becomes a breaker. Then we see price drawing into, and that was my short, and my stop loss was above this candle right here. Why is my stop loss right above here? Well, even though that I'm not, it'll be more efficient deliver if we just went into the breaker and we have a low resistant liquidity run towards the downside. But we need to allow price to trade inside of this sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, and also this IFEG. So I'm allowing all of that to take place. Then we see I'm short right in here. We can do the little executions. Bam. You know, and again, proof of this, everything is recorded on my YouTube channel. It's all live. It's all there. So my stop loss is there. I went short inside of this breaker, and then I'm looking for sell side liquidity to take place. Bam. Then once we have our stop loss in place, we have our trade in place, then it's all about patient and waiting for what the market wants to do. You see price. Then at this point right here, when we did this right here, I ended up moving my stop loss above this high because there is no need for the market to come back into this high. The market, after taking buy side above here inside of this CB, there's no need for the market to go above this high one more time after we had this displacement. Then I also ended up taking the majority of my position below this low. And then we see price course, going lower, partials, and that was pretty much the full trade. Going short right here, selling the majority of up here, selling some up here, and I believe I ended up selling my last contract inside of this weekly buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. And guess what happened when we get into the buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency? We ended up accumulating and then going higher. So that was the trade that I ended up taking on Tuesday. And again, I ended up walking away for the whole day because there's no reason for me to keep pushing a button. There's no reason for me to be in front of the charts. And I went outside and touched some grass, okay? Or going to work, right? Going to the 9 to 5 and doing more important things and understanding that the charts is not everything. So that was the trade. And let's go into the second trade, which I believe was, Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. So, and we're just going to jump right into it right now. Second trade was Thursday, right? And just going through it, we had an amazing reaction out of the weekly buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, institutional order flow entry drill taking place. And when we're going to the daily, right, we were inside of this SIBI right here, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. And we see the reaction that we have out of it. Now, in here, we don't have a lot of information to work with. We can pretty much highlight the sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. Consequent encroachment. We're going to the 4-hour. We see, like, again, amazing reaction after taking this buy sell liquidity pool in the 4-hour time frame. We see price wicking through. Now we see this little deviation outside of the daily SIBI. This is completely and utterly fine. This is exactly what the algorithm is designed and programmed to do. This is just a little coloring outside the line, a little deviation for what would be considered to be perfect. This is fine, okay? So we see the market dropping. And my anticipation for this trade, I was looking for the market to go below this low. So liquidity. Going into the hourly time frame, it just becomes like, it's just obvious. It's obvious that the market wants to go there, right? We have buy sell liquidity taken, shift the market structure, SIBI, low. So we highlight this right here. This is an hourly SIBI. Ooh. So we have an hourly sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. We were higher time frame wise in an area where we are anticipating the market to reject, which is lower. And we have shift to market structure on the hourly, and we have a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. And again, what I keep saying, if we want the market to go lower, the first thing that 930 equity open has to do is go higher to do what? Rebalance into an inefficiency and or to seek liquidity. So now we know the narrative. We are looking for lower prices. We have relatively equal highs, and understanding that the market is looking to seek that liquidity pool. Like edges, like when I see this, it's just like, yeah, the market is going there. It's just like, that's how you have to view it. Of course, with narrative, it's not mean that you see relatively equal highs or lows and the market is gonna automatically go towards that. That's maybe, but we see waiting for 930 open. We're having a lot of back and forth in here. And again, what do I keep saying? I know what, well, I'm anticipating the market to go lower, but if there is no setup for me to take, then I'm not taking a trade. And I was actually saying this in live. Okay. I just need to make sure, guys, that I'm recording. I was saying this live that I'm looking for lower prices, but if there's nothing for me to take, I'm not pushing the button. If there's nothing in the chart, and I don't understand why it took me so long, like years, for me to understand this simple fact, that if there's nothing in the charts, don't take a trade. Like, if there's nothing in the chart, there's no reason for me to take a trade. But again, I guess we learn from experience in our own, and we have a lot of this back and forth, and then the market decides to go above that buy sell liquidity pool. And now again, buy sell liquidity taken. We are anticipating the market to go lower, with that's the higher time frame narrative. we are in an area where we are anticipating the market reject, which is the hourly sell side imbalance by set inefficiency. And what are we waiting for? The model. You see price right here going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and bam. Confirmation. What do we have? Inversion FEG. Like I said, if we are looking for price, right, to go higher, what do we need to see from this originally buy side imbalance of inefficiency, this consecutive 3 right here in the 1 minute time frame? We want to see that support price. But then the moment we close below it, what do you think is going to happen? Use it as resistance on price. If we are anticipating the market to go lower, so liquidity, I ended up slapping shorts right in here. I believe I went short right here. Stop loss right there. Best case scenario was down to this liquidity pool. And stop loss right up here. And then we let price do what it wants to do. I ended up adding more short contracts right inside here. And I said this was going to be the silver bullet for the morning session. Again, and the silver bullet is between the fair value gap that forms or retracement into a fair value gap between 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And I moved my stop loss. If I'm not mistaken, was it above this wick? I don't remember. It's pretty short, but I ended up just trailing my stop after adding some contract. And like I said on the live stream before it happened, I'm expecting this to be the silver bullet of the morning session. And boom. Best case scenario, I ended up like getting stopped out the moment we went above right here. And that was pretty much the trade of the two trade of the week. And now I can show right here where we are currently. This month has been all right, if you want me to be honest. Still going back into the drawing board and looking at the things that I need to improve. Definitely this week we made $2,500. As of now, it's going great. Definitely looking to see like little tweaks that I need to do, being impatient from time to time, and definitely getting to the point of that I keep on striving towards perfection. Even though that we as a trader, you will never be perfect as a trader. Or let me just talk about myself. I don't believe I'll ever be perfect where I'm getting the best exit, where I'm getting the best entry, and I'm doing everything perfect every single time. The only perfect one is Jesus Christ. But that was it. But striving towards perfection is one of the things that I'm looking for. Again, being content with enough and being patient, it's one thing that I practice day in and day out, and it's definitely paying off. Going back into the drawing board this weekend, of course, and still learning and still improving as a trader. And that was pretty much the two trades that I ended up taking. On the account on Tuesday, I ended up taking a winning trade as well, but it was on a practice account. It's all live, and that's pretty much what I have. I hope that you all learned something out of it. As me personally, I do be learning from time to time. I be watching these videos and okay, this is the things that I say wrong and improving upon those things. And we're gonna keep on striving to become a better trader, a better person, a better individual, and that's what I'm striving for, man. I'm happy and super excited for the future. And yeah, man, there's no too much to talk about. That was the little trade breakdown and the analysis through the process and what I was thinking about. And I hope y'all enjoy. If you did, drop a like. Just drop a goddamn like. Just literally just drop a goddamn like. That's all I need. A like.